Hello, it is Monday, September the 10th, the year 2012, and as usual, a lot to get to in the sports world. So let's get it going right now. Yesterday, the first full Sunday of the NFL season. So happy to have the NFL back. It was a long, hot summer here in New York, and I was just dying to get the NFL back. It is finally here, and I will enjoy each and every one of these games leading up into the Super Bowl. There is nothing like NFL football. There is nothing like it, and I am so happy it is here. First stop, Chicago, where the Bears beat the Colts 41-21. Andrew Luck's debut for the Colts, the highly touted quarterback out of Stanford, the #1 pick of the Colts. One of the reasons why Peyton Manning is playing in Denver is because of Andrew Luck, because the Colts had a chance to get him. They think he's going to be the franchise quarterback for years to come. Yesterday, it was all Bears. Luck struggled. 3 interceptions, 5 turnovers for the Colts. Luck did throw for over 300 yards, but let's face it, the Colts are a long, long way off from being a good football team, and Andrew Luck alone cannot do it, and he needs time to mature. Bears are a good team. They'll be in the playoff hunt. They added Brandon Marshall. They have a good defense. Cutler played well. Bears take care of business there. No surprise. Let's move over to Cleveland, where the Eagles eked out a game against the Browns, 17-16, a game in which Michael Vick threw 4 interceptions. The Eagles had 5 turnovers on the road and still won. The Browns had 4 turnovers themselves. The Browns run back an interception. Just think of this. The Browns forced 5 Eagle turnovers at home, and they still lose. How bad are the Browns? I would say real bad. Their offense looks anemic. Their defense looks good. They have a nice home crowd in Cleveland, but their offense, and Whedon, the #1 pick at Oklahoma State, looked terrible. Only 118 yards passing, looked clueless out there. The Browns' offense couldn't move from here to there. The Eagles did everything in their power to hand the game to the Browns, and the Browns wouldn't take it. Now, on the other side, yes, the Eagles did win. Yes, they overcame 5 turnovers. Yes, Vic let him down the field. But you have to be really worried if you're an Eagle fan watching this game. I mean, you can't be too confident that this team is going to go anywhere. I mean, does this look like a Super Bowl team to you? And this is off last year's disappointment. Michael Vick's always running around getting hurt. He's throwing the ball up for grabs all the time. I don't know what to make of the Eagles. I think they're going to be a decent team, a good team. Not a Super Bowl team, not from what I've seen last year or this year, but it is early. Eagles do get the win. Total offense in this game, Eagles 456, Browns 210. I mean, and you look at the score 17-16, you're like, how'd the Eagles only win by a point? Turnovers. So just a complete mess of a game. The Eagles do get the win. We'll see what they can do next week. Moving on to Detroit, where the Lions tried to give the game away to the Rams all day. Matthew Stafford, every time the Lions drove into Rams territory, he would throw an interception. The Rams would run it back. The Rams did very little in this game. Total offense in the game, Lions 429, Rams 251. But what kept the Rams in the game? Lions had 3 turnovers, Stafford 3 interceptions, and the Rams had no turnovers. So that was the difference in the game right there, keeping the game close. Now, Stafford, give him credit. He did lead the team down the field for the winning score. The Lions win 27-23. They do come back after being down 3 points. They score right at the end and win. But my goodness, we know the Rams are not a good team. Even with Jeff Fisher as the coach, they're going to have a long season. But the Lions, we thought they would take care of business here in a big way, and they were lucky to win the game. Lions in San Francisco next week, they are going to have to play a whole heck of a lot better, to beat San Francisco out there. So the Lions do win, but like the Eagles, unimpressive. Moving on to Tennessee, New England beats Tennessee 34-13. No surprise here. We know New England's going to be one of the best teams in the league. Their defense looks improved. Their offense is unstoppable. Total offense was just very one-sided in this game. The Patriots hold Johnson to 4 yards rushing. I mean, that's unheard of. I mean, Jake Locker for Tennessee, the quarterback, gets hurt. Hasselbeck has to come in the game. They were already without Kenny Britt, who was suspended. Patriots did whatever they want in this game, and they look much improved on defense. If the Patriots are ever improved on defense, watch out, because we know they're lights out, on offense. So the Patriots No surprise here, 34-13 over Tennessee. I think Tennessee is going to be a decent to good team. They're just out of their league here. Moving on, the Falcons. Their offense looked unstoppable yesterday in Kansas City. Falcons 40, Chiefs 24. I mean, the Chiefs 3 turnovers, the Falcons no turnovers. Julio Jones for the Falcons was open time and time again. It was Matt Ryan to Julio Jones. Matt Ryan to Julio Jones. Matt Ryan to Julio Jones. All over the field. The Chiefs had no answers at all. I thought the Chiefs' defense at home was going to make some sort of stand. The Falcons are traditionally not a good road team. Chiefs couldn't do anything. They picked up right where they left off in the preseason. Not that preseason means much, but the Chiefs were obliterated in preseason. Teams were marching up and down the field on them. And once again, they pick up right where they left off. The Falcons could not be stopped yesterday, and the Chiefs had no answers. Very disappointing for the Chiefs. Not surprised that the Falcons won. I'm surprised that Chiefs gave up 40 points at home with Romeo Crennel as the coach, and the Chiefs supposedly having a decent defense. So great job by Atlanta getting a road win. Chiefs, not so good. They look a little shaky. We'll see what they do next week. Moving on to Minnesota. Minnesota 26, Jacksonville 23. A game where Jacksonville absolutely botched this game. They go up 23-20 at the end of regulation. Jacksonville actually scores a touchdown and gets a 2-point conversion with 20 seconds left in the game. They allow Minnesota to come back down the field in 20 seconds and kick a 55-yard field goal to tie it. And then in overtime, the new overtime rules where both teams get the ball, Minnesota gets the opening possession, goes down the field, kicks a field goal. Jacksonville on their possession gets stopped on downs. Minnesota wins. Imagine if you're Jacksonville. You take the lead by 3 points with 20 seconds to go in the game. 20 seconds to go in the game, and you end up losing. Does it get any worse for Jacksonville? I mean, just awful. Oh, these are going to be two bad teams to begin with, but Jacksonville starting off like this awful loss for Jacksonville. Nice job by Minnesota coming back. Neither of these teams, I don't think, is going anywhere. Let's move over to New Orleans, the Superdome, where the Saints usually just pile it on the opposition. Washington 40, New Orleans 32. This probably was the shocker of the day. Robert Griffin III, 320 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. This guy is a star in the making. He looked unbelievable yesterday. He made plays. He didn't turn the ball over. He ran. He scrambled. He made plays downfield. He made big plays. He did everything right. Daniel Snyder finally has his star quarterback. This guy is going to be a star. The Redskins go into New Orleans and beat the Saints 40-32. The Saints never lose in the Superdome. Drew Brees looked shaky yesterday, forcing balls down the field. They had 3 turnovers, New Orleans. They didn't look good at all. They had all this turmoil in the offseason. The coach is suspended. The Vilma is suspended. Then he's reinstated. He can't play any way because of an injury. The Saints defense looked atrocious. They gave up 464 yards to Washington. And Washington is starting a rookie quarterback, and their line is supposed to be suspect. Terrible job by New Orleans, and New Orleans defense looks awful. I mean, I know that defense is not supposed to be great, but I thought they'd be at least a little better yesterday than this. Giving up 40 points to Washington in your building, terrible. Now, I still think New Orleans will be a decent team, but Super Bowl team with this defense, I don't see it. Moving on to the Meadowlands, the Jets 48, the Bills 28. If there's ever a reason to just forget about preseason, this is the game. The Jets did not score a touchdown in the preseason. Couldn't score. Tebow couldn't get it in the end zone. Sanchez couldn't get it in. They couldn't move the ball from here to there. Yesterday, they put up 48 points. Almost 50 points. I mean, good job by the Jets. I think the Jets are going to be a decent team. I don't think they're going to be a great team. Maybe they're fighting for the wild card. They're not better than New England in the division. This game, to me, is about the Buffalo Bills. What an atrocious performance by the Buffalo Bills. Fitzpatrick, 3 interceptions. The Bills have 4 turnovers. Fitzpatrick was basically like, here, Jets, take the ball. Here, take another one. Fitzpatrick, who played decent in the first half of last year, then the Bills inexplicably give him this huge contract. Right when he got the contract, he played awful the last 8 games. He played awful in preseason, and now he's picked up right where he left off, and he played awful yesterday. I'll tell you what. If Fitzpatrick keeps this up, the Bills should, at the end of this year, look at a quarterback in the draft and cut him. Cut their losses with him. I never thought Fitzpatrick was anything more than a backup. I certainly don't think he's a star. He's certainly not worth the money the Bills are paying him. And I am shocked at how bad the Bills' defense was. All we heard about is how the Bills' front is going to be so ferocious, and they added Mario Williams. They couldn't do anything. How about Mario Williams for Buffalo yesterday after the game? Complaining about the refs not calling hands to the face. Mario Williams, your team gave up almost 50